and then I'm going to have you work on the other maps with a partner. At the end of today's session, I'm going to be asking you a question. The ambassador that answers the question correctly will get an entry in the opportunity box. Okay, so the first map that we're going to look at is for a psychology major, Ella Fitzgerald. So this is the map that Ella can access online. Clicking on the printer print.
Oh, that's probably from my computer, my bad.
We're hearing a fire drill.
It's hooked up.
Okay, so clicking on the printer-friendly version will show you the map that she'll receive in her advising folder. It's the same information, it's just easier to personalize the printer-friendly version. So as you can see, this map is for a psych major, and it includes general education, psych major prep courses. It tells you which one can double count and fulfill GE. So for example, Psych 101 will be a GE Social and Behavioral Science. And it also is a major prep. Psych 280 is going to be a GE Math and a major prep. And Biology 100 is a major prep and is also going to cover GE Life Science. The map will include American institutions. The map includes foreign language courses if they need to meet the foreign language requirement. And so again, we have to look out for the student's background, or maybe they fulfilled it in another way with AP credit in foreign language courses, or maybe they have 4 years of high school foreign language. So the GE requirements that are not going to be automatically fulfilled with a major prep course, it'll just say, it won't have an example of a course, it'll just say GE Physical Science. So for that, the student needs to look in the catalog and the online schedule to find a course that fits into that area that they want to take. So students will be instructed on how to do this during the degree requirements session at orientation. We give the students time to review their map and get introduced to how to look up these requirements in the courses in the catalog, and also how to refer to their degree evaluation. So, for example, in the fall semester, this student is going to be required to take GE Oral Communication in the fall. So the student can find the list of approved courses in the catalog, the online schedule, and their degree evaluation, and pick one that they want to take, and then on the schedule, one obviously that's open. So we're going to be instructing students to do as much personalizing of the map as possible during that degree requirement session. We want them to be as prepared as possible for which courses they plan to register for, so that when they get to computer labs at the end of the day, they can sign into Web Portal and register for their classes. So again, you're going to come into play when they have questions, when they need help personalizing their map, when they don't understand their degree evaluation, personal information sheet, or their map. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So Ella is an out-of-state first-time freshman who has taken, oh, by the way, the paperclip packet, the first one should be Ella. Psych major, yep, it'll be her personal information sheet, thank you, in the map. She's an out-of-state freshman who has taken the EBT, and she got it 138, so she needs remediation. And due to this remediation, she'll be required to take developmental writing courses in the fall semester. You can see that on the personal information sheet. Everyone see that? Perfect. For an out-of-state freshman, they are exempt from the FATS program. So if she was a California resident first-time freshman, she would be required to take this developmental writing course in the summer. So while talking with her, we also learned that she has taken 3 years of high school Spanish. This is good to know for the foreign language requirement. So she can go right into Spanish 201, that's a prerequisite. So she only needs the 3rd semester of foreign language. Okay, so here's the printer-friendly version of the map. So remember, it's a suggested sequence of courses. And it's recommending that she take GE Composition, GE Oral Communication, Psych 101, first semester of foreign language, etc. in the fall. So according to her personal information sheet, so if you can look at that, what is her required registration for the fall semester?
RWS 92, and then she would need to take COM 103.
Or GE Oral Communications.
Yeah,
Yep,
GE,
perfect,
so that one.
okay. So, okay, we know that based on the personal information sheet. So now we're gonna personalize the map. So we're going to line out GE composition, and we're going to add RWS 92. Okay, and this is exactly how I want us to be assisting the students when personalizing their map. We want to line out the requirement and put it right above the line there. For slide purposes, so that everyone can see this, at the end of this, I'm gonna show their schedule for each term. When you get the maps on the final, and when you're working with students at orientation, they're gonna have one long sheet that's gonna have all 4 years. We do not want to be writing on the margins, writing on the back, writing underneath the semester, because it's gonna make an already overwhelming thing look even more overwhelming. So the way to keep it nice and clean is to simply line out and put in on top what it is they need to enter into. So in this case, we're gonna add RWS 92 because that's what the personal information sheet tells us. And then we can keep the GE oral communication as is, and we can let her know where she can look to see those classes that qualify. We don't wanna force her into a certain kind of course if it's not saying it. So when it says intermediate composition, we don't want to put RWS 200. We want to make sure the student knows where to find the classes that they could take. We don't want them to think that's the only one they can take. Now, if for their major, that's the only one they can take, it'll be listed there, okay? Okay, so we also know that she does not need the first semester of foreign language because she's taken 3 years of high school Spanish. So we can cross off that 3 years part. She can either take Spanish 201, or she can take another humanities course for now, and she can take 201 next semester or later. And then make sure to update the units. If she doesn't add another Spanish course and just a regular GE course, then it's going to be 3 units instead of 4. Okay. So in this case, she'll have 15 units in that first semester, and that's okay. 12 units is full-time. We recommend 15 units each semester to finish in a timely manner. So that's a good amount of units for her first semester. So here's the example. Oh. Okay, later I'll show you the example of the fall term.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Where was it on the personal information sheet that she had taken the high school Spanish?
It's not. That's not something that would be on the personal information sheet. That's a great question. So what we want to do when we're working with students that have a second language requirement for their major, we want to specifically ask them, do you have a background in any language? And if so, what is it? It's 3 years in high school, it's 2 years in high school, and then we can figure out the appropriate thing to recommend them. Does that make sense? So that was based on a conversation we had with the student, yes.
What's the maximum amount of units a freshman can take a semester?
18. We don't want a first-time freshman taking 18 units unless their map tells them they have to, unless it recommends that they take 18 units. But you're not going to see one. Even engineering, I don't think, requires a first-time freshman to take 18 units. Any engineers?
It doesn't.
No? Oh, thank you. Yes?
I was just wondering, for the language requirement, if there's someone who speaks a language but it's not one of the more common languages in the world,
Yeah.
can they still get the exception? Because like they wouldn't have an assessment for those.
Yeah, there actually is an assessment for them.
Okay.
It's just, that's a great question. It's off campus, and it goes through a whole different, there's a whole nother set of standards they have to follow. You would just refer them to one of the advisors, and they'll walk you through that process. That's a great question. Yes?
Do freshmen get a degree evaluation, or is it only for papers?
They get a degree evaluation as well.
Okay.
Yep. So freshmen get a math, personal information sheet, and a degree evaluation, along with the catalog. Yes?
Since that RWS class is below 100 level, does that count towards their unit total, or would
No.
they be technically taking 12 units?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Sorry, that's my computer.
It counts towards their unit total. So even though it's not gonna count towards the overall 120 at the end of the day, because it's not 100 level. It does count towards their term because it's required for them to take it in order to move on.
Will their degree evaluation have their languages from high school on it? So like the 3 years or no?
No,
Okay.
no, we have to rely on you knowing the information.
So then,
Is it me?
I don't know,
Is the battery
you guys saw
gone?
that, right? I turned the volume down or off, I
Oh, it's
don't know, I have no idea.
Sorry, who was that? Okay.
me.
If they have completed 4 years of high school language, that will actually clear the language requirement, and that will be on their degree evaluation.
Okay.
But no, if they just took the 3 years, that's just them, you having a conversation with them.
Right, and that's for them to go to the next semester of the language or to clear the requirement?
3 years of high school Spanish, for example,
Yeah.
would allow you to enter into Spanish 201. You
Okay.
can see that by looking at Spanish 201 in the catalog.
Okay, got it.
Oh, I'm not raising my hand, I'm sorry.
Okay, yes.
To clarify about the units, so that the RWS 92 will count towards your units, but not your degree evaluation?
Not your overall units. So it won't count towards the 120 because they're not 100 level courses. Does that make sense?
So it won't count towards any units then?
Right, but for like financial aid purposes, for example,
Okay.
let's say the student was right at the 12 units, they'd still be considered full-time because they need this in order to move on.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yes.
How do they prove their language proficiency?
That's, like, if they say to you, hey, I took 3 years of high school Spanish, then they'll have to look in the catalog to see how they go about usually showing the professor,
Okay.
the high school transcript.
Oh, they do have to show the professor?
Usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Are we good to move on, so we can get through the next few? Alright. Okay, so now we're gonna look at spring semester. So now we know that we have to personalize spring semester because we've just personalized fall semester. So the first thing we're gonna do is cross off GE intermediate composition, and we are gonna add GE composition. Again, we don't wanna put a specific course, we just wanna put GE composition, unless the map says a specific course is required. Then the next is we're gonna cross out that language second semester. If they didn't take their language last semester, then they could finish it up there. So, if she gets the minimum passing score on the ELM, then she can take Psych 280 that's listed on the map. And Psych 280 also has a prerequisite of Psych 101. So you want to be looking at each class as well and looking at the prerequisites. And you can see in the fall she took Psych 101. So there's her fall semester, RWS 92. Let's just say she decided to go into COM 103. Psych 101, Soc 101, Religious Studies 101. And then her spring is GE Composition, Psych 280, Psych 211, Language third semester, and Psych 230. Okay? So because you helped her personalize the map, she now has her whole first year mapped out. Yes?
And then this is just to clarify that you were saying that she could either take a GE Humanities or that third semester Spanish.
Yeah.
So I remember actually, like, my ambassador telling me, like, so you would explain that to them that you can either do the third semester first, like, it's just up to you.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe, because 4 units of a language, maybe that is a little daunting to them. And maybe they want to just take something else for now and then worry about that. Because they only have the 1 as opposed to 3 classes, they have a little bit of flexibility. Yep, it's going to be up to them. Yes.
So the box, that's like after you helping them decide which classes they want to take, or you just?
No, I'm just showing you like their schedule. I mean, you certainly can, but you want to, I don't think you'll have time to sit with every single student and say, okay, what do you think about Econ 101 versus Psych 101? So when it says GE Social and Behavioral, you want to make sure that they know where to go to see the required courses or what courses would fit. Yes.
So we don't like write this?
No,
Okay.
no. Yeah, when I'm looking for you to personalize the map, I'm looking for everything up to that point.
Okay.
So I'm looking for all this stuff. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions before we move on to the next? All right.